I trusted my family with my marriage. They destroyed it together. Welcome, this is Voice of Deborah. Hit the subscribe button if you love true stories. I should have known something was wrong when my husband stopped defending me. Not in the big dramatic ways. Just the small moments. When my mother made a comment about my cooking, James used to squeeze my hand under the table. When my sister joked about my weight, he'd change the subject. But somewhere along the way, he'd started laughing along with them instead. We'd been married for 6 years, and for the first time, I felt completely alone in a room full of people who were supposed to love me. "Sarah's always been sensitive," James said one Sunday at my parents' house, and everyone nodded like he'd said something profound instead of something cruel. I looked at him across the dinner table, waiting for him to meet my eyes and realize what he'd just done. But he just took another bite of roast and kept talking to my father about football. That's when I knew something had shifted. I just didn't know how bad it was about to get. The real nightmare started with a phone call from my best friend, Michelle. "Sarah, I need to tell you something," she said, her voice strange and tight. "And I need you to not shoot the messenger." My stomach dropped. "What is it?" "There are rumors about you and Daniel from your office." Daniel was my project manager. We'd worked late together exactly 3 times in the past month on a major presentation. He was married with 2 kids. I was married to James. The idea of anything inappropriate was absurd. "Rumors? What kind of rumors?" Michelle hesitated. "That you two are involved. That you've been sneaking around. Sarah, it's all over town. My hairdresser asked me about it yesterday. The cashier at the grocery store gave me this look when I mentioned your name." The room tilted sideways. "That's insane. Who's saying this?" "I don't know where it started, but everyone's talking about it." "Sorry. I thought you should know." I hung up and immediately called James. He didn't answer. Called again. And again. Finally, on the 4th try, he picked up. "What?" His voice was cold, annoyed. "There are rumors about me," I said, my words tumbling out. "People are saying I'm having an affair with Daniel." "It's not true, James. You know it's not true." Silence stretched between us. "James, say something. Tell me you know it's not true." But what he said next changed everything. "I don't know what to believe anymore, Sarah." The line went dead. I stood in my kitchen, phone still pressed to my ear, unable to process what had just happened. My husband, the man who'd promised to love me, to trust me, to stand by me, had just told me he believed I was cheating. Called my sister. Rachel had always been my rock, my defender. She talked me through every crisis since we were kids. "Rach, something terrible is happening," I said when she answered. "There are rumors about me and—" "I know," she interrupted. "Mom called me about it this morning." "Mom knows." Horror washed over me. "What did she say?" "Did you tell her it's not true?" Rachel's pause was too long. Way too long. "Rachel. Sarah, I love you. You know I do. But you have been working a lot with Daniel. And you did mention he was attractive that one time." My blood ran cold. "I said he was professionally impressive. That's not the same thing as. Are you seriously suggesting I'm having an affair?" "I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying that where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Maybe you got too close without realizing it. These things happen." I felt like I was drowning. "You're my sister. You're supposed to believe me. And I'm trying to help you," she said, her voice taking on that older sister tone I'd always hated. "Maybe it's time to take a hard look at your marriage. At why you might have been vulnerable to outside attention." I hung up on her. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. Within an hour, my mother called. "Sarah Elizabeth, we need to discuss this situation with your coworker." Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "Tell me your side of the story." Just immediate judgment. "Mom, there is no situation. Someone started a horrible lie, and everyone's believing it without even asking me." "Don't take that tone with me," she snapped. "I raised you better than this. To throw away a good marriage for some workplace fling. There is no fling. Why won't anyone listen to me? Because 3 different people have told me they saw you two together. At restaurants. The park. Don't insult my intelligence by pretending this is all made up. My mind raced. The restaurants. Yes, we'd grabbed lunch twice after morning meetings. The park. We'd walked there once during a break because Daniel needed fresh air after a stressful call. Everything had an innocent explanation. But no one wanted to hear it. Over the next week, the rumors multiplied like a virus. Each retelling added new, graphic details that made me physically ill. Places I'd supposedly been seen. Things I'd supposedly said. The story took on a life of its own, growing more elaborate and damning with each person who whispered it. James moved into the guest room. He wouldn't talk to me, wouldn't look at me. When I tried to explain, he'd just walk away. My mother stopped inviting me to Sunday dinners. Rachel's texts became less frequent, more formal. Hope you're doing okay. Instead of our usual long conversations. Even my father, who'd always been my champion, seemed distant and disappointed when I called him. Dad, please. You have to believe me. I would never. I want to believe you, sweetheart, he said quietly. But your mother showed me the Facebook messages. What Facebook messages? The ones between you and Daniel. Planning your meetings. Talking about keeping things quiet. I pulled up Facebook with shaking hands. And there they were. Messages in my account to Daniel, saying things I'd never written. Suggesting we be discreet. Making references to last night, and when we can be alone. Someone had hacked my account, or accessed it somehow, and created an entire false conversation history. Dad, those aren't real. I didn't write those. Someone's setting me up. Sarah, they're from your account. They have your profile picture, your writing style. I know this is hard to accept, but maybe it's time to take responsibility. He hung up gently, like he was putting down a sick animal. I was completely alone. The isolation was suffocating. My family had turned on me. My husband wouldn't speak to me. Friends stopped calling. Even the woman who'd been in my book club for 4 years crossed the street when she saw me at the grocery store. Then Daniel called me, and I knew things were about to get worse. Sarah, I was just fired, he said, his voice shaking. HR said there were complaints about my inappropriate relationship with you. My wife left me this morning. She took the kids to her mother's. She won't answer my calls. Daniel, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. No, he interrupted. It's not. 'Cause I did some digging. Sarah, someone has been systematically spreading these rumors to specific people. They've created fake evidence. They even sent my wife photoshopped pictures of us together. Who would do that? That's what I can't figure out. But this isn't random gossip. This is coordinated. Someone wants to destroy both of us. After he hung up, I sat in the dark of my living room and tried to piece together what was happening. Someone was deliberately ruining my life. But who? And why? Then I remembered something James had said months ago, something I dismissed as a joke. Your family's always in our business. Sometimes I wish we could just disappear and start over somewhere they couldn't reach us. I'd laughed it off. My family was close, maybe too close, but that was just how we were. But what if James had been serious? What if he'd wanted out but didn't want to be the bad guy? What if he'd found a way to make me the villain instead? I started looking through our joint accounts, something I hadn't done in months. James had always handled the finances. I trusted him completely. And that's when I found it. Transfers. Large ones. From our savings account to an account I didn't recognize. $50,000 over the past 6 months, moved in small increments that I'd never noticed. My heart hammered as I dug deeper. The account belonged to someone named Lisa Brennan. I didn't know any Lisa Brennan, but when I searched the name on social media, my world exploded. Lisa Brennan was James's high school girlfriend. And according to her very public Facebook page, she just moved back to town 3 months ago. Her photos showed a new apartment, a new car, nice dinners out. And in the background of one photo, barely visible, was a man's jacket hanging on a chair. A jacket I'd bought James for his birthday. The affair wasn't mine. It was his. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because when I scrolled further through Lisa's page, I found a photo from 2 months ago. A group dinner at a restaurant I recognized. In the photo, Lisa, James, my mother, and my sister Rachel. All of them smiling. Toasting with wine glasses. Like old friends. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. My family knew about James's affair. They'd met his mistress. They'd apparently approved. And then they'd helped him destroy my reputation so completely that when he left me, everyone would think it was justified. My hands shook as I kept searching. Found more photos. Rachel and Lisa having coffee. My mother and Lisa at a boutique. They'd befriended her. Welcomed her into the family I was being systematically erased from. But why? Why would my own mother and sister do this? Then I found the text message screenshots, carelessly posted in a private Facebook group Lisa had forgotten to hide. Messages between Rachel and my mother. Sarah's reputation is almost completely destroyed. A few more rumors and everyone will believe she's unstable. Good. James needs a clean break. And Lisa is so much better for him than Sarah ever was. Mom, are you sure about this? She's still my sister. She's ungrateful and difficult. Always has been. James deserves someone who appreciates him. And Lisa understands family loyalty. I read those words over and over until they burned into my brain. My mother thought I was ungrateful. My sister thought I was difficult. And together, they decided I didn't deserve my own marriage. So they'd conspired with my husband to destroy me instead. The betrayal was so complete, so calculated that I couldn't breathe. These were the people who'd celebrated at my wedding. Who I'd called when I was scared or lonely. Who I'd trusted with my deepest secrets and fears. And they'd weaponized all of it against me. I sat there in the dark, evidence glowing on my phone screen, and realized I had a choice. I could let this destroy me. Let them win. Or I could fight back. I called Tyler my younger brother. The only family member who'd stayed neutral through all of this, though his silence had hurt almost as much as the others' active betrayal. Tyler, I need your help, I said when he answered. And I need to know if you're with them or with me. Sarah, what are you talking about? Mom and Rachel. Did they tell you what they've been doing? Silence. Then, who's been doing? So he didn't know. Relief flooded through me. Can you come over? Right now. I need to show you something. Tyler arrived 30 minutes later. I showed him everything. The fake Facebook messages, the financial transfers, the photos of James with Lisa and our family, the text messages between Mom and Rachel. His face went pale. Then red. Then he looked like he might be sick. This can't be real, he whispered. Mom wouldn't. Rachel wouldn't. But the evidence was right there in front of him. What are you going to do? He finally asked. I took a deep breath. I'm going to tell the truth. All of it. And I'm going to make sure everyone who believed their lies knows exactly what kind of people they really are. Sarah, they're still family. No, I interrupted. Family doesn't do this. Family doesn't gaslight you and destroy your reputation and steal your life. Whatever they are, they're not my family anymore. Tyler looked at me for a long moment. Then he nodded. Okay. Tell me what you need. Over the next 2 days, Tyler and I built a case. We compiled every piece of evidence, created a timeline, documented everything. Then we did something my family never expected. We went public. I wrote a detailed post explaining everything. The fake affair rumors, the forged Facebook messages, James's actual affair, the money he'd stolen, and most damning of all, the screenshots of my mother and sister planning the whole thing. I included photo evidence, bank statements, everything. Tyler posted it on his Facebook page since my credibility was shot. But he had 800 friends and a reputation as the honest, straightforward one. People believed him. The post went viral in our community within hours. My mother called me screaming within 20 minutes. How dare you? You're destroying this family. You're lying. I have screenshots of your text messages, Mom. You and Rachel planning to ruin my reputation. You can deny it all you want, but everyone can see the evidence now. You ungrateful, vindictive. I'm the vindictive one. I laughed, and it sounded slightly unhinged even to my own ears. You helped my husband gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. You turned everyone against me. You let me believe I was losing my mind. And I'm the vindictive one. She hung up. Within an hour, she'd posted her own response, claiming I'd doctored the evidence. But people weren't buying it. Too many details lined up. Too many people started coming forward with their own experiences of my mother's manipulative behavior over the years. Rachel called next, crying. Sarah, please take it down. This is destroying my life. People are sending me hate messages. My boss is asking questions. Please, I'm your sister. You stopped being my sister when you helped them destroy me, I said and hung up. James didn't call. He just had his lawyer send divorce papers with a note. You've made this much harder than it needed to be. But what he said through his lawyer in the divorce proceedings changed everything one final time. During discovery, James's attorney tried to argue that I'd stolen marital funds. But Tyler had helped me document every transfer, every receipt, every financial move. And when James couldn't prove I'd taken anything, his attorney started asking questions. Questions about the $50,000 transferred to Lisa Brennan. Questions about why my mother had co-signed on a loan James had taken out without telling me. Questions about the credit cards he'd opened in my name and maxed out while destroying my reputation. The case fell apart. James went from trying to take half of everything to desperately trying to avoid criminal fraud charges. Lisa Brennan, faced with questions about her role, suddenly had very little to say. My mother and Rachel, confronted with evidence of their conspiracy, turned on each other trying to minimize their own involvement. And me. I walked away from the divorce with my house, my car, my retirement fund, and a restraining order against all three of them. The gossip that had destroyed my reputation reversed itself almost overnight. Once people saw the evidence, once they understood what had really happened, public opinion shifted dramatically. The same people who'd whispered about my affair were now outraged on my behalf. My mother and sister are no longer welcome in most social circles in town. James and Lisa moved to another state, their relationship apparently not surviving the public scrutiny and financial strain. 6 months have passed. I've started rebuilding my life. New friends, new routines, new boundaries. Tyler and I are closer than ever. Dad eventually apologized. A real apology with tears and accountability. And we're slowly rebuilding our relationship. I still have moments where I can't believe it happened. Where I can't believe the people I trusted most in the world conspired to destroy me over. What? My mother's preference for my husband's girlfriend. Rachel's jealousy of my marriage. The thrill of tearing me down. I may never fully understand why. But I understand this. Gossip is a weapon, and in the wrong hands, it's absolutely devastating. My family didn't need violence or poison. They just needed whispers and lies and the willingness to repeat them until they became everyone's truth. But here's what they didn't count on. The truth is stronger than gossip. It's harder to spread and slower to travel. But once it's out there, once people see it clearly, lies can't survive. If you're watching this and you recognize yourself in my story, please don't wait as long as I did. Document everything. Trust your instincts. And remember that people who truly love you won't need rumors and lies to maintain their relationship with you. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe and share it. And the next time you hear gossip about someone, ask yourself, what if it's not true? What if someone I love is being systematically destroyed, and I'm helping without realizing it? Choose truth over gossip. Choose verification over assumption. Choose kindness over cruelty. Because you never know when you might be the one who needs someone to choose you.